Are you looking for quality, handcrafted, one-of-a-kind, unique items? Look no farther than Off the Square Artisans. We have over 40 artists ranging from woodworking to blacksmithing, photography, rug weaving, handmade soaps, and everything in between. If you're looking for home decor or a gift for that hard-to-shop-for friend or family member, come on in to Off the Square Artisans, located at 205 East High Street, 1 block east off the south side of the Rockville Square. Wednesday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays, 1 to 5 p.m.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would like to mention yesterday was Mother's Day as well. I'd just like to say thank you to all the mothers in everywhere else in the world. So just wanted to get that out there. So, Cyndi?
Yes. Brandy has a resolution in hand. The resolution is to state that the town will contribute $10,000 as a match towards the comprehensive plan grant application. That leaves $50,000 for the grant, and that it also has your blessing to apply.
I make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Easy enough.
Sorry. Any other questions for me?
I don't think so. Anybody got any questions for Cyndi?
No.
Anybody in the public got any?
Just thanks.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Application's due this Friday, so it'll be in
And we find
June
out
22nd.
June 22nd.
Which application is that?
Comp plan.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Cyndi.
Cindy.
I'm sure you get it. Ooh, I think this is the falling down here. I'm sinking.
Hard switched it.
Oh, I bet it
Yeah. I tested every one.
There's a tape on it. It's tape on the back. Got some tools under there. There were about 3 of them.
Okay.
I'm just gonna buy mine.
Miss Evans, are you ready to?
Yes. What I have a problem with is, as I put in my letter to you, I pay my town bill with my Social Security, which I don't get it until the 4th Wednesday of the month. Therefore, approximately about half the time is the 26th, 27th, 28th. What can I do to keep from having it turned off because my check's not in?
Well,
When is cutoff date every month?
26.
It's 26.
Have you tried, are you still doing the budget billing? Would that be an option for you, the budget? Would that budget billing be an option?
No, because I don't get to pay it until after that. I wrote down for the rest of this year, this month it's okay, I get on the 24th, June 28th, July 26th, August okay because it's 23rd, September 27th, October 25th, November 22nd, December 27th. So I said about half and half, but it's the first thing that comes out of my check. I write the check and I get it up here.
well, any thoughts?
Have you talked to township about assistance possibly from the township person?
No, because
Could
I've
they-
got the money there, but it just don't come in time.
Could they maybe, if you explain that to them, could they maybe just like front it until her check comes?
I just know that they help a lot of people with things like that. I don't know what their qualifications are or things, but there's a program through your township trustee that can help you with certain financial things.
Which it's probably Sharon.
I've tried to get help before, but they say I make too much.
Well,
Would it be feasible if I know it's going to be the 26th or after, if I come up and tell them that I will pay it on whatever day it is, if you can hold off until I pay that, until that date?
well, I don't know how the office runs for sure, but I know 26th is our cutoff date. So I don't see us changing that.
I mean, I've done this for 9 years.
And Paula, it looks like according to your history, I mean, what you've said is accurate as far as when the dates fall and everything. My only thing is with that, you know, unfortunately, I mean, we do have a lot of people that will struggle to get their bill and get it paid on time. You know, we've had a lot go to community action for assistance. I know you're limited with what you can do if they're saying that your income is over the threshold. And we want to do everything that we can to help you in order to make sure that you can get that bill paid without disconnect. But by doing this, then we have to treat everybody the same way too. So, you know, we already have people that, you know, I get it paid on the 28th. Well, our cutoff date, our shut off is the 26th unless it falls on a weekend or a holiday. I just can't justify that we make that exception for one person and not treat everyone equally. And that gets us back into the routine of not doing our shut-offs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how to guide you or how to help you other than asking for assistance, like Mr. Slaughter had said. Although I understand that you're basically probably over income to qualify for the help.
Well, this month, almost half of my Social Security will be coming to you, but it will be, like I said, be on the 24th. That don't leave me with I got my insurance, I've got a couple other bills that I got to pay out of my Social Security, and
Well, so the budget billing, a lot of times if you do that, will lower your monthly payment. And if you're able to do that and it's spread it over the course of the year and say it was lower 30 or 40 bucks a month, after you went about 4 or 5 months, you'd get to the point where you'd be ahead in the game on saving the money, and then you could make a payment that would put you a month ahead.
I can't see that because the way you keep raising things, 2 months ago, it was 500 and something. Last month was only 100 something. This month, 565.
What are you talking about? Your utility bill?
Yes, sir.
Well, that doesn't make any sense to vary that much. What? Have you looked at her bill? I assume. Why is it
Her
fluctuating?
electric bill is extremely
Your electric
high.
bill?
And it's not, I mean, it's not just strictly due to a rate increase, it's her electric usage is very
Do you
high.
rent or do you own? Do you own your home?
Pardon?
Are you a renter or do you own your home?
My son is buying it.
Okay, so you own the house. Are you all electric? You have any
No.
gas? You have gas?
What we have is gas, water heater, and stove.
How many people? I started to get so personal, but how many people live there?
There's just my son and I.
2.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand your electric. That's a lot.
We do have, my son had turned our garage into a man cave.
Oh, okay.
We had a wood stove in there, but several years ago our insurance dropped it. And so my son has a TV and he sits out there, so we had to get a space heater.
That's
So that way,
Those space heaters really pull the power.
$100 a month probably at least on your bill just for running.
my
that
electric
space.
bill alone was $400 this
Yeah,
time.
at least 100 of that's your space heater running.
It's gonna be
Yeah, it sure does bounce around.
Are you air conditioning that area also?
We don't have it, we just had it on a few evenings so far, but that's it.
Because most garages don't have insulation.
Yeah.
He put the insulation in it.
Well, that's
And
good.
he does have an air conditioner for the summer, but even with the air conditioner last summer, it wasn't near this hot.
Because it sounds like it's a usage issue, though.
Yeah, it's awful high for you, Paula, for 2 people. Gosh. I run about 300 a month. There's my wife and I. That's what we run. A little below, a little above. Depending on the weather, but golly. Well, I mean, well, we can't change the date because that. Well, we just can't change the date, Paul. I mean, that's not going to work. You know, Mr. Sauter talking about the budget billing thing. That is a good thing to smooth out your payments, but still, you need to look at how your what's causing such high bills. You shouldn't be that high. Well, what your son had to say about all this?
I mean, it's very frustrating.
Well, I know it's yes.
Because with it being so high and don't keep bouncing back and forth, and like I said, I've always paid, years ago, I'll admit, I did have a little bit of problems, years and years ago. But since I retired, I have paid it right, like I said, the first thing I take out of my Social Security is the town payment. And then the second thing is my insurance.
You might talk to Sharon Malone. She's the township trustee. I mean, it's not a matter that you're not going to pay it. So maybe if she could just front the money, kind of, and then you pay it back. I mean, I don't know if that's an option, but you could at least talk to her.
There may be a way that, I don't know, I'm not speaking for her. There may be a way that you can have a conversation with her, show her your income and expenses. There may be a way that she could possibly give you so much or even pay a portion or all of your bill to get you caught up that would help for the next month. I mean, if you had a month that was taken care of and was paid and paid on time, that would help you with your following month and then help you get kind of caught up back on a schedule.
I don't know how to get a hold of it.
I can get you the information for her. Do you want to check with me tomorrow? Could you do that?
I don't have anything tomorrow. So
Okay, if you'd like to stop in, and then if I get a chance before I see you tomorrow, I'll reach out to Sharon and just let her know that we've had a conversation, and then ask if she could meet with you and talk about that, if that would be okay.
That'd be fine.
Okay, just see me in the morning or whenever you're available tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paula.
Sandy, how are you?
Well, thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome.
Are you ready for me?
We are.
Well, I have good news. Brick Street is committed to $2,500 for the locator map, and it will be located behind the new parking lot, behind the community foundation, and behind the Asbury building, wherever that little area is that you want it to be. And as Morris explained at the meeting I went to Monday, that the town pays for the concrete for that, is that correct?
Well, we were gonna talk about that a little later. We can talk about it now, if you guys would like.
Sure.
Whatever, because I don't want to rush you on that, because we do have possibly another $1,000 that CBC has committed to him. Now, I haven't talked to him. The issue in all of this is so many people in Main Street are new, and they hear all these rumors about what the town will do and won't do. And so that's one reason I'm here, so that I can pass information back to them, and I'm not sure they even will believe me.
And you know, they can come to every meeting we have.
We're on YouTube. We're also on the internet.
I mean, they can ask questions, you know, so.
Well, one thing I did want to ask about, the corner of Market and High, when will that be closed, down by the Presbyterian Church?
I don't think, I haven't talked to the contractor recently, but I don't think that they can even get any material for what, several months.
Oh, yeah, months out.
It's-
Till after
So it won't be,
Yeah, I won't be.
it probably won't be even this fall.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, it's been bid and it's ready to go, but,
Well, that's one thing I can take back to them, because they were so certain that we couldn't have the parade in December because of that, and they wanted to reroute it to 36, and my head's blowing because I know that the NDOT won't allow them to close 36 for that, but I just bit my tongue. But I did want to ask about the corner here, so that'll be okay for Brick Street.
I would say we'll check into that. We'll get back with you or somebody from Main Street and see if we can confirm with Hoyts that if they have any kind of a start date in mind. I know last time I talked to them, they couldn't get any of the water line product. I believe they were struggling with sewer line, even storm stuff. So.
Well, and I had heard that too at a meeting here, but I didn't want to be certain until I talked to you. Now, Brick Street would like to have the high from Jefferson to Market next to the courthouse, because we've got some antique cars. We don't want it closed in front of the town board office, but we'd like to have that closed and then border the other on Jefferson going towards 36, right next to the curb. And then on Market, it would be on this side of the parking to the sidewalk that borders the.
Do you have those dates?
And I can give those to Brandy if you want them. It's it's just one day.
Okay.
9 to 2, and it's the 24th of June. It's the last Saturday of June.
Did you ever get the rest of the dates?
Did they put together a list? Because I've heard that somebody has, Greg and someone else had a meeting and put together dates and closures.
Well, at the meeting the other night, one person wasn't there, and they said she's going to do it this way, and someone else is going to do it this way, and Greg was going to bring it all together. So I think it's better, and I will notify them that each individual group needs to let you know ASAP.
Yeah, if they could give me, even if they could email me, just something I have in writing so
Used to do
that
it the first of the
we
year.
all are on the same page as to what you tell us, the
And
date,
you've
time,
asked for that,
and
I
street
don't know
closure.
why they can't do that.
And I just want to make sure that the
Well,
council knows, and then I like to make sure that the police and fire are aware of that in advance. Anytime we're going to close the street, I think it's important for the police and fire to be made well aware of that.
And I always call them for Brick Street, but I'm
Right.
not sure how everyone else does it.
Yeah, and that's why we always want to make sure that we take care of it as well,
And I
just
will
in
write
case.
down for you so that you'll have it in writing.
Well, I think we can vote tonight on the 24th. That way we can take care of that situation.
I'll make a motion, we close the street on the 24th of June from 9 to 12, from probably early morning till
About 6.
6 till
2:30.
There's a second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye. You know
And
which
we
ones.
always get the key for
She
the
captured which
courthouse,
ones.
and we open it up, the bathrooms,
The
and we
west
close
side
it.
courthouse,
But
east
another
side courthouse.
lady indicated that she was going to
north side
open up
is
the
just inside
bathrooms
you.
every
Yeah,
weekend.
inside you.
And I didn't know if.
And I think
the town
then
was
she
aware
said
of that.
Jefferson toward the parking
Yeah.
lot, Jefferson to York.
That's the lady from the old jail.
She did?
Oh, she's gonna open up her?
No, she
I don't
doesn't
think
have
she
one.
wants to
She
start at
said she
6.
had permission to open up.
I think she was just
for
the
whole
U here.
town.
Yeah.
She would
But
make
she
sure
said
it
not
was
the south
clean.
side
I don't
this
think she
year.
did.
And
Okay.
I could not imagine.
So just
that
east of
that
I was kinda
was
confused.
approved by
I know.
It's a
anyone.
Saturday.
What is it? Unless, or did you say the courthouse?
Courthouse.
Okay, unless, I don't know if Nick would recall mentioning that, someone mentioning that in the commissioner meeting.
What's that?
There was a point where somebody did talk to the commissioners about using the restrooms, but I don't.
Well, Main Street Minutes said that the
I don't
gal that
remember
runs the
who
jail is
it
going to
was or
open up the,
I know, I was at that meeting, but I did not know if they contacted anyone, or just assumed they
oh,
could.
well, yeah, we
They
wouldn't
would-
have that knowledge.
No, they'd
I
have to
don't think they
contact
actually
Don.
approved it. I think they said they'd look into it, but never did, is what John's telling me. His memory's way better than mine. so.
Okay, okay.
That's not necessarily true.
I'm not gonna worry about that.
Yeah, video memory.
Well,
Okay.
I would say they better be checking on that then. They got a little more than a month, so. Did you have anything else, Sandy?
I wish I could think of something to ask you for, some money or something.
Well, you can come back.
We just dished that out already.
Think about something later, you can interrupt.
Or do you want to talk about concrete?
I do want to talk about the concrete for the little while.
Okay, go ahead. Well, I want to revisit Miss Evans for a minute, but go ahead, the concrete, we'll go back.
Okay. So, obviously, how do you guys feel about paying for the concrete base for the sign in the parking lot?
I thought they said something. Did I dream that they mentioned buying the material and we would do the work?
I thought it's supposed to be part of the bid specs for the parking lot, which I also thought we were going to have tonight to approve and put out the bid, which obviously we don't. But I did think that was supposed to be part of the bid specs, the base.
Yeah, I asked Luke Gill to figure out what actually needed to be done, and he got the picture of the sign, so he could figure out the
Right.
depth and the size of the concrete.
Right,
Okay.
the bid
We
spec
did.
was included. There was not a conversation on funding yet.
Okay.
That was the only thing.
Okay, I knew.
Well,
Voted to
I
approve
think
this
there's
sign?
been some issues raised
Have we voted to
that
approve this sign?
Yes.
Voted to approve the placement.
you know, why should the residents of Rockville pay for that? And it's
Well, I don't have an
legitimate,
issue.
it's
I don't have an
legitimate.
issue. I don't know. Because tourism helps the town as a whole. I mean, there's a lot of argument there that if it wasn't for tourism,
I'm just telling you,
you wouldn't
that's-
have the business. If you didn't have the business, you wouldn't have the jobs, you wouldn't have the tax roll. I mean, go on and on. So yeah, I mean, I have no problem putting out a few dollars for a concrete sign. You know, if there's anybody else want to chime in?
I think I'm all right with it. It shouldn't be too much, I think, but could be wrong.
Do we have even a remote cost estimate?
I believe the bid spec showed about $1,500.
Sounds high.
That's substantial.
How big
Yeah.
a base are they putting in? Because a yard of concrete wouldn't be near that.
No.
Whatever was.
Well, again, that's a bid estimate. I don't know why it's being estimated that high. This
I
is
don't
just an
either.
estimate. You have to wait until you see what the actual winning contractor bids.
Because to do that, you'd need like 8 yards of concrete. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you could do substantial concrete for that.
Yeah.
My understanding, the sign's gonna be steel, but the pole's gonna be aluminum,
Aluminum.
or is it aluminum all?
I think.
I think it's all aluminum.
I would say be all aluminum. It
It's the
makes
last
sense.
drawing. We
So-
shouldn't need nothing more than a 10-inch little tube of concrete, shouldn't we? Think about 3 foot deep.
If it's being delivered, they have a 1 yard minimum, but if you use
Yeah.
a sackcrete, then
Yeah.
whatever 5 bags of concrete are.
You know, I think
Is
the
this
estimate.
including the maps? Do the maps have to be put in
Where did this damn number come from? I don't
It's on
have any
the-
document that shows me cost estimates for that lot.
Bid
do we?
document came out, I thought.
Where's it at? Do we have a bid document?
Yeah, it was in
Luke
the
sent
email.
Luke sent the cost estimate revised once he added the clock. or
Okay,
not the clock.
he sent the revised cost estimate. Right.
That's what.
But did he? And he added the clock base in there. There, the sign base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I haven't seen it. If I did, I don't remember.
What did they say last meeting about the sign? They were funding the sign, but it wasn't. they weren't
Yeah, we
funding-
have people helping
They
fund the
didn't say
sign.
anything about funding the concrete.
Well,
Anyway, we're making
we
a map.
kinda took it on because it has to be ADA appliant.
Yep.
And there was no sense in having 2 organizations. I mean, basically, it's gonna be our parking lot, and it's,
Our,
Makes sense.
is our critical infrastructure on the maps? Police, fire, park, things like that? Are they on the maps?
I know the bathroom's supposed to be.
Some
Where
of
is that
them
thing?
like what?
Well, I think the restrooms are on there.
Well,
I
that was
think
the
town
thing
hall's
that
on
we
there.
left the other
Where
day.
Should it be? I mean, we're
All
not.
the ambulance and all that stuff, I don't believe they were because it's going to be
I can
moved.
find it.
If they reprint the maps.
I do believe Morris said that when, we get into RMC, that would all change.
That'd all change.
That would be on there also, so.
Did you put the park and the pool?
Yes, believe he said so. Park's on there, isn't it? I thought he
Okay.
said.
Library, is it on? Library?
I haven't seen the whole map. I mean, it depends on who wanted it on there, et cetera, so.
Well, we don't.
That, I don't have a copy of that because that was what Main Street had put together that Rita Jacks was
Yeah.
designing.
It's not on their part.
No, it's not on this drawing, is it? Well, anyway, it's a small item for a big project. I mean, I don't think it's going to come in that high when it's actually bid. No ethical contractor is going to bid $1,500 for a little concrete base. I don't know why he's estimating it that high.
Well,
I would question the estimator.
anyway, is that a motion?
I move, yeah. What yeah.
Is there a second?
What are we moving on? Pay for it?
On paying for
Paying
it?
for our concrete base.
Should we wait to see the price actually?
Well, we won't know the price until it's actually bid. And that's just an estimate. I think it's ridiculously high.
My God, couldn't we do a form? Couldn't you guys? do
That's what I'm
36?
saying. Why, I'd be in favor of them paying for the
I think the
material and
Well,
us.
the deal is you're going to have a concrete truck there to do other
Yeah, I
things.
think you guys were doing it because that way we don't have two separate. Plus, I mean, I don't know that's the first I heard the cost of it. And there's probably more to the footing than you realize. It has to be so deep for wind and all that stuff, wind blowing on that
Well, I
side.
guess
So
there are
it's not just a
Square.
small
It's a
footer
tall
like you
sign.
see.
Oh, I know, but
for
it's just
that.
like,
So I think he was talking almost like 3 foot deep.
yeah.
and
But
everything,
even at
so-
that, that's
But-
not anywhere.
So, but I mean,
Yeah.
preparation and all that, and I'm sure it's a little high like you said.
Yeah, I don't want to break it out, Melissa. Let's just make it all one package deal, bid it out, and so we know it all gets done the same approximate time, and we'll have the landscaping responsibility be volunteer part of the project. And that's my thoughts on it. Anyway, I moved.
No, there's a
It's
second
the-
out there. If somebody wants to second it. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't look like it's going to pass. So.
Well, I'd like explanation.
I
I'd like explanation from the other board members. I mean, it's a little part of a large project.
Well, for a lot of people, for instance, the lady just here, $1,500 isn't a little bit of money
Now
to
you're getting
her.
off context. We're talking about a project.
I just don't know
here.
why it wasn't included in the project. I
Why
don't know
it was or wasn't.
why it wasn't included. If they're coming to us asking if they can do a project, why don't they do the entire project? Why are we?
Who?
Main Street. That's who's putting it up.
They're
correct?
putting this. They're putting a
So
sign
why
up.
did they not include the price for the concrete?
Jesus, is this a Main Street issue now?
Because they
It's
know
a
what the concrete is
something.
going to be, and so you're going to have a concrete truck sitting there, and so why not just have frame it up, have the concrete done another 10 square feet, whatever the thing.
It should save
What
us money
Morris was saying.
by doing it all at the same
I don't
time.
see it's a big
One
deal.
concrete truck versus two concrete truck. I mean, that's what we're really talking about here. We want another concrete, or we're going to mix it by hand and do it. And that's what we're talking about. We're going to do it ourselves.
Good Sandy, go
Can I
ahead.
interject something?
What?
I would not, and I'm with Main Street,
All right.
and I'm a taxpayer.
Yeah.
And I would not just carte blanche in case it gets to be very expensive. Morris has told us, and if we can believe that, he has another $1,000.
Mhm.
I would, if I were in your shoes, and I'm not meaning to overstep, but I wouldn't just say, we'll put it in, and then it becomes $6,000 or $10,000, because we don't know what concrete might be. But if you would say $3,500 from us, from Main Street,
Mhm.
or $4,000 from Main Street, they're gonna have to find, and they have money, they're gonna have to pay for it. So I wouldn't overextend in case it does come in huge, and then you're stuck with the,
Well, it's not going to come in huge. They estimated $1,500. It could be less. I don't know what the specs are on the sign base for this particular application. I'm sure there's code that they have to follow, and that's probably why it's coming in higher than what a layman such as us would think. But I think we're just sitting here wasting time on such a small item. But nobody wants to second it, then you're all going to be out there and help dig the freaking hole and put the concrete in? I mean, that's my question. I mean, seriously,
when's
folks.
construction start?
Well, we don't even have a document put out to bid
Well,
yet.
I think that also includes, I haven't seen it, I just talked to him, but I think he's supposed to figure out too, because we talked about lights. So,
see.
lights.
Oh,
And
could
I
be
told him
lights
I
on it,
didn't
too.
want the lights, and I hope you all agree that, I think he probably figured the lights in the foundation a little bit or something, because I didn't want them out in to where they'd be mowed, weedy around.
But wouldn't that be a trip hazard plus something to...
Yeah, so I think that may be figured in there too, so you might look and see.
Nevertheless, they are in the bid specs, correct?
I
mean,
guess
that's,
so. Well, we don't have bid specs to approve, so what are we even talking about?
well, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, do you guys want to put it in the bid specs?
Well, I would. I guess I'll make that motion, but I don't think there's any
I
support.
think it needs to go and then wait until it comes back.
Okay.
What are we doing?
That's me.
What are we doing? What do you want to do?
Put it in bid specs and wait till we get that back.
Put it in, see what it comes in, and then
Quote.
we'll discuss some more. I just think we're wasting a lot of time on
So that was a motion, you gonna second that?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
Okay. So back to Miss Evans. You know, if she comes in again.
Is it you two?
Yeah. Brandy, I think her son should come with her next time. I'd like to hear him. Yeah. Yeah.
He does too.
Yeah, I'd like to hear.
Well, I think that's just getting into personal situation.
It is.
I think it's way.
It is.
We have a deadline, and it's not our responsibility to find out or figure out how everybody can pay their bills.
Well, I don't know.
That's just not our responsibility.
I don't.
If I couldn't pay mine, I'd turn.
It
stuff
just
off.
pisses me
I would.
off, and I'd
You
like
know
to
what I
hear
mean?
more about it from the person
Yeah.
that's using the electricity. So anyway, let's move on.
One other thing while we're talking about bid specs for the parking lot. We need, because they're not in the specs as of right now, a light on the corner, be the northwest corner of our parking lot, the foundation area. That is gonna be powered by us, and it is not in the bid specs. It's gonna be a fifth light that the foundation's buying, taken care of, and we're gonna power it. So I wanna make sure that gets in the bid specs, because it is not in there right now. And we'll make sure that when Brett and those guys are laying their conduit, that gets to be part of it. So, you guys want a motion on that, or do you want, I mean, is it good enough?
No, I'm fine with it.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, the only thing I would ask for would be Brad or whoever tell us where they want it, for sure.
Yeah.
That way we can, 'cause like I said, he plans on going after conduit this week, so we can get started on it.
Okay.
So I will contact Brad and see if he can spot it or something, so we know.
Okay.
Okay. All right, moving on. Brandy, are you ready?
I'm ready. Claims in the amount of $986.66.39. We do have one big payment to ISI, which is reimbursed from redevelopment. I think that was a little over 500, if I recall.
Yeah, 552.
Yeah, some claims are obviously a little high, but that's half of the portion. We also have our INPA light bill in there for almost $181,000. Was there any that anybody had any questions on?
Well, you pointed out, I looked at them earlier today, Brandy, that there's $15,472 in here from last year, 2022 expense for Jefferson Street inspection that they finally billed us
Those were
on.
invoices that they did
Yeah.
not get to me.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to keep track of everything we're paying in 23 that actually pertain to 22, so at the end of the year, we kind of know what pertains to previous year. I move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's those.
Um,
There are billing adjustments for 720818. We've had one that was a pretty large leak adjustment for a little over $1,100. There's supporting documentation in here to follow up with those. We also had one at the campground here for $1,600. That may be a reversal on that, but those will all need to be approved. Looks like there was another larger leak adjustment for the motel, so still have had several people that are finding leaks, whether big or small.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
And reflexes, you gotta hate it.
She's so fast at it.
April bank recs are balanced, so there's one sign-in sheet that will include Fountain Trust, Bank of New York, First Financial, Trust Indiana, and our Okra account.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. seriously, it's her son. He's running up the bill. Oh, she has to come here. That's just not right. What?
Just enjoying your commentary.
Well, doggone it.
You think she's pulling the wool over her eyes?
No, I
I think somebody's pulling some wool.
I think it's
Not her though.
parental abuse. I don't know. Not right.
It ain't gonna solve anything.
You can't make policy based on individual circumstances.
I know.
I think when it was $100 a month, she should have got ahead.
Mm.
She could have been ahead.
Yeah.
There really needs to be somebody who provides a service for certain people on budgetary things. I mean,
Talking loan shark?
no.
When did they go? I thought people used to get it on the 3rd. Now does it go out all through the
That'd
month?
be a niche area for somebody to get into to manage other people's finances for a living.
Sounds rough. I always thought Social Security came out first of the month.
I don't know anybody
It used to
locally
come
that
out
does
on
it,
the
but
3rd.
I don't know.
Comes out.
We're gonna find out in a few years.
Yeah, no.
It won't be around. Park, it's not going to be around by then.
It won't be around,
It's
yes.
a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. Get us back on track. Get us back on track.
Okay, so I have our 2023-8 salary ordinance again that I proposed a couple of weeks ago that we had a conversation about, which includes a town administrator for line item. It includes a utility superintendent line item. It also includes a pay increase to the electric department and a pay increase to the electric part-time department. Does anybody have any questions or comments on that?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Chris,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I've got, we've been talking in the office that we would like to offer the residents the opportunity to apply for a water assistance program. It's the same program essentially as Community Action that offers with their energy cost. Community Action only offers the assistance toward their electric bill. It does not pay on their water bill. This proposal, an agreement would allow us to let residents apply for water assistance as well.
And who they apply with? Community Action?
It's Community Action that we do electric with, but yeah, they've started a water program. We thought that it would be a good idea,
Well, it is.
beneficial. We have a lot of people that, you know, they'll just get their, you know, if they're a water only customer, they may get their water turned off. They've got Community Action to pay on their electric, but they can't pay their water, so this would.
Well, it just does water, doesn't do sewer.
Right. It's just a water assistance program, but it'd still be helpful, I think. Help the residents out if no one has any objections to us applying.
I don't. We need a motion?
I do, because there is an agreement. I'll let Nick review it before this goes back to them. It's the same Community Action electric agreement, just on water.
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you don't mind to sign that, and like I said, I'll make sure that Nick gets a chance to review that before that gets sent back. Then I've got the financial aid agreement. Did I send you all of the compactor stuff today, or just the? Did I forward you the financial?
Yeah, I read
Okay.
it too, because I got it right here.
Yes.
That's why I said it was enjoyable reading.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to send this back to them until you had reviewed it as well, but.
Their standard form, basically, for.
This is SRF?
So,
Right,
yes.
Indiana FIFA?
Yes, so.
Yeah.
So Nick has looked at the financial aid agreement.
There's a resolution that goes with it somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, so now,
need,
did we increase the amount?
to not be any more than
Not to
200,000.
exceed 200, okay.
Yes, they did include that in there. So I do need an approval
I make a
on the
motion.
documents.
We
So,
approve the resolution.
Approve the documents.
from the financial aid agreement
Approve that.
first.
Motion, Lydia, I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then Nick prepared an ordinance, which would be ordinance number 2023-05,
You guys all gotta sign it.
that
What's
I
it?
will need as
It's
well.
the resolution authorizing the IFA application, accepting the money if they offer the money.
Oh.
And I forget what the third item was.
Okay, so
The third item just described what the project was, which was the compactor out
I'll make a
on
motion.
Strawberry Road.
Melissa, motion second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You would sign,
I have
There,
to
that's
require
on
a
the
resolution,
financial
that's why
agreement.
we're doing this.
I stole one of his already. I'll
I
take one of
also
yours.
wanted to run this by you too, it's just in the guy, I don't know how, it's very simple, but it was the loan, the small loan application that I had to submit back to him.
Sorry.
Yeah, that looks fine.
So I think we've got so that should take care of the compactor, all the paperwork for them.
Are you gonna do a separate, how are you gonna run that in the financials? You gonna do a separate line and fund? it?
Yes.
Okay, good idea.
Yes, because
Yeah.
the money will be coming in from the state, so I'll
Yeah.
receive it into a separate line item so we can track that. That's all I have.
Jeez.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna steal Bill's thunder. Most of what I would say he's gonna address. Beyond that, I did a few resolutions which have already been addressed, so if you have questions, I guess, ask me questions, but they have like 72 ordinance violations they're gonna talk about.
Okay, well, we might refer back to you after.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Holy cow.
I brought each one in Okay, first I have, we have another, we're keeping the seventh vehicle so that we have a pool car. We need an extra MiFi device. I have not got the check for FirstNet yet. We may already be paying for it. I've asked them to cancel it. I don't know that they got that done. If not, we don't really need another contract, but if so, we would need to go into the contract for another device for $30 per month. So if we do need one, I'm asking permission to enter into the contract to add a additional MiFi device.
People have an issue with that?
Nope.
No. Do you need the actual device, or do you need just the contract?
Both, the contract and the device.
We might have a device you could probably have.
Okay. Ordinance violations. In May, we had 45 ordinance violations. For the year, we have 49.
Wow.
Dave's very appreciative of that.
So most of the violations, are they just yard too tall or?
So there's there's mainly 4. Some of them are, they have vehicles that are junk vehicles that they need to either, fix and plate or get rid of. Some of the yards have a lot of accumulation of stuff. Some yards may look similar to what you might think of as a junk yard as far as the amount of accumulation of stuff they have. Some people just kind of gathered stuff and just kind of sprinkled it throughout the yard, and it doesn't look very wholesome. Some of them, we had one that was draining their basement into the alley, wastewater. I haven't actually seen the waste yet, but it's definitely coming out of their basement, I would say, through a sump pump. So wrote that one as well as their porch. Most people are, I've been able to talk to a large majority of the people. A lot of them seem receptive to getting the yard fixed because they don't really want to go to court and have a fine. Speaking of that, I did speak to one subject. You'd asked us a while back to put together a list of yards to do. Well, I spoke with one of our guys that's already had a fine, and he would be interested in cleaning up his yard. He said he doesn't have the money right now to rent a dumpster, and I know we talked about renting a dumpster, and I talked with Nick, and he said that, I'm not trying to speak for Nick, but basically put together something so that we're not actually paying for the dumpster, but he is, and
it'd be basically a reimbursement agreement that we'd have to have with him. I'd want to talk to him in more detail if you guys are open to the idea. Bill was going to price a dumpster and just see what it was going to cost, but it might be something where it could reach an agreement where maybe the town has a dumpster, he uses it, he reimburses us the cost. It'd be different than us just going in and doing it ourselves and having a cost. He would do all the effort. We would just.
When's our cleanup days?
10th of June.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, the
So-
dumpsters are down there.
Right.
So I would say
It's going to be a little more than that.
this is
probably
going to be
on
more
this
than
particular
one day's
property.
worth of putting stuff in a dumpster.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just an idea that he and I kind of talked about.
So would we like lease one and then have people that need to clean it up reimburse us for the use?
Possibility. I mean, there's a lot of things we could do there. I think I would probably feel more comfortable if I talked to the individual and got a little better understanding of their personal situation before we expend money on something. But
Well, I'm open to the idea and just see.
it was a little different than us, because we had talked about just hiring a service and having it done and having that
Right.
expense. So this is a little different than that, because we could get the expense back in theory.
I'm just thinking it might be
You
if it's
have
a
to make
way.
that available to everyone though?
Right.
Well, they enter
If
into
they're
an
willing
agreement.
to, yeah, if they're willing
Yeah.
to clean up the yard.
They don't
and-
pay. Well, at least we get the yard cleaned up. They don't pay. We go take that and add it on to.
But what we'd have to do is figure out what that cost for the dumpster is before we
Yeah.
go any further than that. But we just didn't, I didn't think we should explore that without at least talking to you guys
Right.
first. I mean, we're not asking for you to say yes or no today, but
I'd
if
say
the
it's worth
answer
a
is definitely
conversation.
no, then we shouldn't explore it, so.
Yeah.
We have had 7 impounds this month. We've had 20 for the year. Now, we've probably put tags that you may have seen some of these vehicles with the orange tags on them. It says 72 hours. We always give them 120 hours. The state statute versus the town ordinance. There's part of the town ordinance that says 5 days. State statute's 3. So we usually give them the 5 so that we're within the town ordinance.
What is the impound cost to the?
$50, I think.
So there's a $50 Rockville fee, and then whatever the impound agency, which is usually Double D, whatever they would charge, and they've got different fees for different things. If there's no key, I think there's an additional charge. If it's 4-wheel drive versus standard, I think there's different charges for different
Okay.
things. If the customer is giving them a lot of grief, I think they have an inconvenience fee that they charge.
Ooh, I
Okay.
want that.
So,
Well-
and then there's also a storage fee usually.
Oh,
where
boy.
They charge per
Sounds
day.
expensive.
Well, it is expensive, but I will tell you what I've heard them charging versus what I've heard, like if you get impounded in Indianapolis,
You're not getting your car
it's
back.
it's probably at least $200 cheaper here.
Okay.
Well, the goal would be don't get impounded.
Well, yeah, that's the best thing.
We have 2 vehicles going over to JTN tomorrow to get the new computer mounts put in.
We need one, Carla.
Well, these are on the Tahoes.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So the Tahoes are going to get their new computer mounts. We're also going to take some stuff for them to put on one of the Fords that's already there. And then hopefully at the end of this week, beginning of next week, maybe we'll see a car or 2. They are gonna, like I said, begins to start transferring the equipment. They're actually, right now, they're working on the cars. They're taking some of the stuff that they have at JTN and actually putting them in there. What they don't want to do is us send all 4 cars or 3 cars over at once and be without those 3 cars, because they're taking stuff out of the cars and putting them in the new cars, and then we're just without 3 cars for a period of time. They're trying to rotate it through so that we're down as few cars as possible. Cameron's vest that we just got has torn, so we're going to take that back and have that either repaired or replaced.
Their warranty.
It should fall under warranty because we haven't had it that long. We have plans to purchase and trade in some of our old tasers. They're $5.99 a piece. And I think we have enough. I'll wait till I know. I think we have enough. We can buy one for $5.99 and maybe have enough left over to get an additional one for the cost of everything, or the price of trading everything in. I'd also like to purchase a pepper ball gun. Pepper ball gun's probably going to be when everything's done and said, it's probably gonna be about $2,000. That sounds pretty high, but you know, you're having $657 for just the pepper ball gun, and you've got to buy a bunch of extras, you know, like a sling and the hopper and the CO2 tank, and you want an extra CO2 tank so that if that one runs out, you still have one on standby. Really, besides the pepper ball gun, the most expensive part is the ammunition. $323 for the training rounds, but you get a lot of training rounds, and then $250 for the actual live rounds, and that's only 90 rounds.
A lot of other communities are switching over to that as a less lethal.
As opposed to beanbag or something?
Or other less lethal things.
But they don't leave you miss out the bruising.
There can still be bruising with
There's
that.
Oh, well, good.
So there's some videos on the internet to watch. Yeah.
How long are the pepper balls good for? Do they expire?
Are they actually?
I would say they're probably like I believe a 2-year shelf life.
Okay.
So it's pepper?
It's basically a paintball, but it's got the pepper inside.
And you hit them with it?
Pepper spray.
What's that?
You shoot. You actually hit the.
You shoot the people with it that are resisting.
Okay.
It's like playing paintball.
So
Okay.
you've already got that in your budget.
I believe we have enough for that.
If it's already in the budget, I don't have an issue with it.
I'll make a motion for you to purchase.
I don't think we do too, because it's under the threshold.
Oh, you're 2,500.
Right. I'm just
Yep.
Giving us some heads
Yeah.
up.
and,
I'll
Okay.
support.
So we also want to, we have a Blackout 300 rifle that we want to auction off. I believe that's what we need to do with that one. Auction it off.
What brand is it?
I do not remember.
We call it a blackout.
If you get
That's-
shot, you black out.
300 Blackout. So like you have like 223 and different calibers. It's a 300 Blackout.
I'll sit there and get you a picture for it.
But anyway, we want to auction that off, and we've got those less lethal shotguns. I think Montezuma was requesting one, and they gave us the cage, so I would recommend just kind of goodwill, since they gave us a cage, that we give them a shotgun, and then use the rest of those to trade in to purchase a rifle for the 7th car.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Got a picture, Nick?
Have we heard how
I haven't
Hannah's
actually
doing?
seen this.
Hannah's
one.
doing very well.
Good.
She's enjoying it there.
How long's she been?
She's 2 weeks. This is her 3rd week.
I don't know what kind of rifle that is. She said black.
It's short.
Shorter.
Yeah. Also, with Hannah being at the academy, something I wasn't really aware of is she may get a little bit of overtime weekly. She's got the 2-hour, drive there back, 2 hours plus. They're definitely, and it may slow down as they go through the first couple of weeks. She did gain some overtime. Cameron gained some overtime this week because he had court. We had the trial for the speed on Howard Avenue.
Did that turn out okay?
The person was found, he had to pay like $500. They ruled in favor of the town.
They gave him the maximum fine possible.
Well, okay.
So
It was.
that's,
I mean, it's shorter than
Kinda
that. It's not as big as that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
You buying it?
it's a rifle.
Okay. I don't know.
That's your one to auction.
It's just.
Yeah, he's just one.
Look good. He
We
shot
have
the
to get
paper.
the notice of the
Yeah, I
auction.
look good at the antique mall. It'd be,
But
get rid of my ADT to put that up.
It's going to look different than that part, but that
Right.
kind of gives you.
Curious.
I mean, it's going to have a shorter
So,
barrel on it. and
yeah.
stuff.
Anything else?
that's it.
Yeah, I agree, Montezuma. The less lethal shotgun. That's the beanbag thing.
Yes,
Okay.
and we've got the stuff so that we can put the, and make it a regular shotgun again too.
Oh, really? You can do that?
All
Convert
you're
your
doing
kids.
is replacing the,
So we're gonna do the other shotguns. Trade them in.
Trade 'em in.
Are they Remington or Winchester? What are they?
I believe they are all
Use
870s.
anymore.
Remington 870s.
870s. Nice.
We're going to have to advertise it.
They're
on
not
the
listening.
anyway, so-
Well, yeah, they use Remingtons.
Yeah, I'd like to have one.
I know. I like to have a youth model. The short, you can swing them around quicker.
Is that it, Bill?
That is it.
Thank
That
you.
might be.
Yep.
I have my great-grandfather.
Great for
All
close quarters.
Yeah, I was asked a couple different people, Michigan Street project, that was a sewer problem we had from 109 Michigan Street. His basement was backing up, couldn't flow. And we dug it multiple times trying to find the sewer, and we did find it. And what happened was Bloomingdale 4 or 5 years ago when they come across the alley across Michigan, they did hit our sewer, and it finally collapsed and went and washed and plugged. So we had to dig that up and put about a 70-inch piece there, then go on over east of Michigan on the edge there, dig up again, and run the sewer toward York Street. But it is all repaired and everything. But I do have a picture of where their fiber come right through there and everything. It took about a 2-foot section of clay tile out.
Did you notify them?
Yeah, they were there on the site. So, and so actually what happened and everything, but we are repaired. The next step over there is talk to Milestone. They'll be here in the June maybe. So we'll have to, we're going to concrete those digs. He said go right up to the blacktop. They'll mill down where they have to be. So that'll be in the next probably week or two. Try to get on that so that can be done. But that is repaired, and that's what happened. That's a so.
Yeah.
So it is all done and repaired. Electrical work on Market Street is all done. We moved the last meter last week. So we took a meter off our pole and set a base for them, so it's no longer our responsibility if something happens to it. Everything. Tree limbs on Howard Avenue and in front of the cemetery around those pole lights. Dairy lights have been trimmed back. Hydrants are all done, and I have a list for maintenance and possible replace of hydrants. I will sit down with the fire department, and they will come up with a plan. They've got some money to help replace them. So I'll get with them and get a plan together of what we're going to do on that. And crack sealing is going well. Hopefully by the end of this week. If not, first and next Saturday will be done. And then the rock finally on Jefferson Street was placed. If you guys haven't seen it, in front of Asbury's office, it looks nice.
That's a big one.
It's nice. So. Cleanup day, like I said, is on June 10th from 9 to 12, so we'll probably have 3 to 4 guys in working that. So, everything. And then the only other thing I've got is the bucket trucks are due for inspection next month.
Oh boy.
2 bucket trucks, it's $1,500 a piece, so it'll be $3,000 for your inspection. The guy comes in and inspects all the hoses, welds, everything off to make sure there's no cracks or any safety issues we have with it. So that'll be next month. So.
How often is that done?
Huh?
How often is that done?
I was thinking, I thought he said about every year, maybe.
I thought so. It's supposed to be. I thought.
Yeah, for them. So they don't do the digger because it's out of date. So everything, but like I said, he said it's 1st of June is when that's happening. So everything. So. Am I good with that? Yep. Okay. And then, let's see here. And then the metering system, they just put up the water plant, a couple months ago or so. Not even that. It's apparently been hit by lightning and is already down.
What was?
So we need to even get one reading off of it. It's completely down. So.
Okay. Well, and that was to measure what flow? How much we're pumping, or how much we're?
That is the electric metering to see how much power we're using.
Oh, the power usage.
Is there no warrant? Oh.
What's that going to cost?
I thought he said he briefly told me as he was leaving today. Don't quote me. I think $1,000. He said maybe. I'd have to double check. But he was kind of telling me on my way out. They finally got out there. They didn't even get it one month's reading out of it. So
sure, we insured, isn't it?
That's what I was
well, that's
thinking
what he
of
was wondering. But
What's our deductible though? We have probably at least $1,000 deductible, I would think. I mean,
Probably.
considering.
I thought so.
Are you saying that it's $1,000 for a new one?
He said around $1,000.
I'll check with Carla, but I think our deductible on those losses are $2,500.
Well, that's what he said. He said our deductible is probably more than. But I will check with him in the morning and get with you if it's going to be much more than that or.
Somebody's not living right over me.
Yeah. So and then.
What are you saying, lady?
Just basic for information, like Bill said, with the road closings and stuff, we don't have very many cones at all, and the ones we got are nasty. They're expensive. 100 of them is going to be around $2,000 a load.
Wow.
So, because you get them, they're 28 inches tall. We have to have reflective bands and everything on them. So,
are you going to put in TOR, Town of Rockville, something on
Yes,
it?
well, that's just it. They could be a little bit less, but I think for another $1 a cone.
We should have identifier on
It
it.
says Town of Rockville on it.
I got
They walk away.
I've picked up several over the years.
We've had Crawfordsville call us and go, we went up there and picked up 6 or 7 before.
But they,
End up in a ditch.
Wabash Valley, I had WVA, I think I had some WVAs.
Yeah, Wallace Valley always leaves them.
Well, they're just, they sit there for months sometimes.
You
I
don't
finally
call
get-
and say they could be returned?
So,
They should be happy I picked up the trash and we didn't have a citation for littering.
so I will be, especially with the roads closing and stuff we use, it looks a lot better. But we do have very few of those. And then the only other thing is I will be getting, this week, sometime I'll be sending guys to we need 8-inch blocks, some Sack Creek, and then we'll be getting a conduit for the parking lot so we can get going on that. I don't have a price on the blocks and everything, but I'm sure it'll still be under $2,500.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Menards and get that easily.
Okay.
I think Mandy's kept you up to date on the clock, right?
Yes.
It's supposed to be here one.
Yeah, we're just waiting on it. We're going to put it inside one of our buildings, so we know it's not just sitting there. We realize it's going to go outside, but still no reason just to leave it for.
Looking bad.
Yeah, so it'll go in our building down there as soon as it shows up. Yeah, she keeps me informed of all that stuff. So that's all I got. If you have any questions on anything, our new guys are doing well.
Good.
So Mark's actually had Adam try to start digging a little bit. So.
I saw him out there digging the other day in the cemetery, I think.
Kudos, and I see you in your reflective gear and your hard hat.
Yes, we try to push that as much as we can.
So okay, I don't know, it was the last board meeting, or maybe it was a different meeting, maybe it was a stormwater meeting. I thought we were going to have some documents, bid documents, stuff ready to go out, request bids on the parking lot and also on Howard Street, Walton, and Anderson. Does anybody remember?
I did. He said he was getting bid documents ready for the parking lot. I don't know if he said.
Well, when are they going to be ready? I mean,
I can't answer that.
I know that's my question. It's like,
Talking to the
well,
person.
okay.
The Anderson, they're working on that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's all I know from Decker. But I believe I have a note that we have to do that within 4 months of the award date.
Okay.
So that would have been in the last month.
Yeah.
So I will follow up.
Well, why don't you encourage
with an
him?
email,
Encourage
because
him.
we need to get something
Yeah,
written up.
encourage unless the board doesn't approve. But could you encourage them to? We want the documents at the next meeting. I'm tired of pissing around
On
with this
Anderson
particular firm.
and the parking lot,
Yeah,
right?
just be blunt about it. Yeah,
It,
they've had information long enough. Maybe a few modifications to the parking lot, but
Okay, so we need bid docs on both of those projects by
June 5th. Yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
I think I'll see Roger Wednesday night or
Oh,
Luke
yes, he'll be here.
at Stormwater, and I will express my concern with him directly. But
Okay.
Jeez.
I just have the print in bold was just whatever I could come up with as far as an update. So Doug already mentioned the paving should be around the end of June on Michigan Street, closer to that time when we find out for sure. We'll send out a little bit more advertisement. Just talked about the Anderson, which includes Walton and Howard, so I'll follow up with Decker. South Market, there's a progress report that's been sent out on that. 41 North sewer, I think the last progress I report, they're sending weekly reports out now. They're about 70% complete. The water inventory that I told that Doug and I mentioned to him previously, I've got both their people are on vacation opposite weeks this time, so the conference call at the end of the month, but things are going well. Troy was kind enough to help me get started with a grant that we can apply for $15,000 to pay for that water inventory. So that's going to be part of the conference call that I'll have with 120 Water. So I think Troy from UMAC last meeting, I think he mentioned that to everyone. So that's pretty huge to be able to pay for that project, the initial project anyway. Jackson, you said something about the light install. We talked about that. Drinking water grants pending. Bike and pedal plan. I did just send out communication. I talked to Miriam Blaine. She can be here Monday, May 22nd at 6 o'clock to do the presentation from the bike and pedal plan. That meeting will need to happen, and I believe after speaking with Mindy Duckett from Purdue, she will let Pete know from the state that that will be on the agenda for the council meeting June 5th for approval. So even though I know Cindy's gone, but that deadline is the end of May. And then, of course, this evening, Nick prepared an ordinance for the Strawberry Lift Station paperwork. So all that financial aid paperwork has been signed, and I'll submit the resolution and court order tomorrow morning to them.
Okay.
So that's my follow-up on projects.
What do you mean by that? Okra grant pending. What are we?
The jury, that's the one that Cindy's applying for on the drinking water that we're doing.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah,
700,000.
yeah. Yeah, it's not the water project.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm getting too many projects
There's a lot.
bouncing around my head. Yeah. Oh, Doug.
Good.
Thank
You got something else?
A little something.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Over there across from the laundromat on Howard, you know, you trimmed around, the guys trimmed around that one tree, the light pole that was buried in it. Come back this way, it's right across the laundromat parking lot. There's another tree in there. The guy wants to cut the trees down, but he doesn't want to touch them until they get kind of out of the power lines.
Okay.
He said they trim back some, he'll take them down from there. Well, I'm talking about trees. You know that darn tree that fell over there behind, well, I call it the bottom of Woodland. It's actually north.
Virginia Street?
Well, no, it's
Oh,
I
yeah,
call
right
behind-
there in the creek.
I call it behind Porter's old
Yeah,
house. That's
Porter's
used to
old
live
place,
there.
yes.
Anyway, yeah, the water fell out. You know, it's nothing urgent, but I would think we probably want to get there and just try to clean all that crap out of there.
Yeah, they're planning. They just got it where it's fallen.
But that,
for now.
but I take
Yeah.
I take all that vegetation out.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want stuff collected in there, and it's probably best. I wouldn't be shy of trimming quite a bit out around here. Would be my thoughts.
Bill, my
There's a big
side
dead
is
tree on the other side of
Yeah,
now.
There's 2 or 3 great trees in there
Yeah.
they're going to be cutting.
Okay,
out.
well, you're
Have
on
you
it.
walked
Yep.
through that whole? Have you walked through that whole line through there? There's a ton of dead trees back there.
Elm, probably. They are the elm.
I don't know.
Oh.
But there's a lot of dead down trees.
But yeah,
Yeah.
those
Or
dead,
half down.
those dead trees are visible. We've discussed it, and they're going to.
Okay.
Probably
Where
getting in there.
is
getting
this
them.
again?
Well, you know, I drive by there 3 or 4
Yeah,
times a day,
exactly.
so I think, you know, I probably ought to say something about it.
Yeah, we've already had that
Um,
discussion, so it'll be happening.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Roy, you got anything?
No, sir.
Bruce, you got anything?
No, not really. They did install our sludge pump, which you guys bought like a year and a half ago. Finally came in, they got it installed last week,
Well, update us. What's that doing now?
and it's transferring sludge from the small digester to the big digester.
Okay.
And,
And we like that.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can't transfer it, you're kind of stuck. The new clarifier brushes are going in Wednesday, so
Okay.
we are getting some projects done out there.
So everything's going good?
So like.
How much rain we get the other day? How much hit the plant? It was fast rain the other night.
Yeah, I don't remember what the total was.
No? Didn't make it that far.
It did not.
It wasn't 4 million.
Yeah, it didn't hardly raise our flow at all, so.
I think the official report was a half an inch.
Yeah. Fish report, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, out there's, well, we're on wastewater. You know, our retention pond. What do we call it? What do you call that? Overflow pond?
Yeah, storm pond.
Storm pond. Yeah. The vegetation out there. If we sprayed that this year, we're going to spray it with some crossbow or something. You know, we had all the trees trimmed last year.
Yes, it
I
was.
haven't been out there for over a year since they trimmed. I assume they got all that drug out or off.
It hadn't been sprayed yet.
No, it has not yet, but it's.
But I know that's something that IDM
Yes.
was on about us, and
What's the game plan on the hillside out there?
At the
Wastewater
plant? What, I mean, the whole thing, that vegetation on it was supposed to take over years ago, and it hasn't.
I mean, we had those guys come and.
we paid a pretty penny to have it trimmed back.
But it's crawling out.
Hit it with a. I use a cocktail of Roundup and crossbow, and it'll take care of it. I guarantee you.
So I know that's what the original
Wear a
plan was.
mask.
Jeff had talked about.
But just don't get down.
Spraying it, but, I can talk to you about it.
Yeah, they gotta get the truck thing loaded up, and we're gonna start getting sprayed on that.
Okay.
We were actually down there.
I can't believe how quick it's,
Oh, I know. But yes, it was,
it'll get out of hand pretty quick.
so.
Okay, well, I'll shut up.
Any old business? Any new business?
I know, I'm done.
You've
I
heard
would
his
like to mention one
feelings.
thing. This morning I was coming through town. I'd like to thank Kevin Cowens for picking up some trash. Kind of nice that he took the effort to do that. Most people don't, or if they do, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
And just so y'all know, I had nothing to do with any of this stuff that Bill was talking about.